Think about it. It has been years of mismanagement of our currency. So Venezuela, since the 1990s, we have had an inflation rate that is 2 digits, even 3 digits, and then hyperinflation. So people develop this skepticism, and they need to protect themselves because their lifetime savings were destroyed by bad management of a government. So the way I also see digital assets is it's a technology that constrains government, that creates competition for governments, and that way governments that wants to mismanage their currency also have competition because they know that they will protect themselves by acquiring Bitcoin or by acquiring stablecoins.
So this is a little bit opposite direction. Let's take it from the other side. So governments do all of these things because they want to be able to tax and manage their domestic economy. So fast forward 50 years, what is tariffs are charged on, if I go to Paris and spend $10,000 on some fancy thing and I bring it back, I got to pay taxes on it. I got to pay tariffs on it. So if I do that with digital assets, the way that you just did that, there is a record, but government's ability to track it. What's the future hold for that? How are governments going to adapt to technology in that regard?
It's a great question. There are a lot of different ways that they'll do it. So I guess first and foremost, because this technology is so fast, secure, relatively cheap, and 24/7, it's going to take over. These rails are so much more efficient that they're going to take over. So governments are adapting. They simply just have to adapt to the new technologies. Honestly, a lot of it may actually happen below the level that we're paying attention. Like I'm showing what typically happens in authoritarian regimes because they're trying to get around. If you're in France, we may end up using MasterCard or Visa or Zelle or some other network, but they're actually using the rails, stablecoin rails underneath it, blockchain rails underneath it to power what they're doing. So in many economies, it will actually happen, without consumers even noticing.
So if I go to McDonald's right now and use my American Express, they're going to charge me DC sales tax.
Right.
And so let's just say McDonald's was going to accept stablecoins. They also could charge me that same thing and retain and send and prove that it's on the public blockchain.
Exactly the same.
It just requires the government and the merchant and the individual to all adopt this new status quo.
And one of the benefits right now for merchants accepting stablecoins is that we're starting to see gas stations in the U.S. offer discounts for people to pay in cash instead of credit because they're saving 3%. On the credit card swipe fees. They're doing the same thing. I just used this example the other day. Regal Cinemas right now just started accepting USDC. They're offering 10% off on ticket sales and concessions if you pay with USDC versus a credit card or cash. So the benefit is hitting the consumers, hopefully over time, hit some of the prices.
So the $9 water that Regal Cinemas is going to sell me is going to be, $8.10.
$8.10.
That sounds like a great
it's a big deal.
That's a great deal.
But on this note, in the US, for example, and in Europe, the rates of unbanked people is roughly 10%. But if you go to all over the world, people don't have bank accounts. If you go to Africa, most people don't have bank accounts, or if they have them, they are being not used the way Americans use their bank accounts. They are just used to cash in and to cash out, and then they use the cash. In Latin America, 70% of people, they work in this way. So the ability of governments of tracking transactions with cash, for example, is way less than you will have with digital assets. In countries like, for example, let's say in sub-Saharan Africa, most women don't even have an ID. As a result, they cannot have a bank account, 43% of women. And this is happening all over the world. So that's the biggest problem. The other issue is that we see an increase on people that are financially excluded, even in developed countries, because of the result of bad compliance rules. So if these people don't have this bank of last resort, which is digital assets, they really don't have anywhere to go. And if people don't have anywhere to go, this is when people are really vulnerable to criminal activities, criminal deals, the black economy, etc. So financial inclusion actually allows more the states to have better financial integrity.